Welcome, welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life where I am taking it one day at a time, bring guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. It is time to close out week one of our April budget. So I pulled out all the things that I need to pull out in order to do this. We're going to grab us a quote and we're going to see what it says. Without the darkness, you will never know the light. I have to research these because it's definitely some challenges I've been running into for the past week or so, personally, professionally, and I'm like, I can do without the darkness, but look at here. It says I would never know the light if I did not know the darkness. And it ties into like the sermon, it ties into my therapy session, it ties in it all. So we're going to sit that there and we're going to get to here. So I pulled out the monthly budget overview detail sheet because it talks about the monthly goals, as well as I check off to see which expenses have cleared either my bank account or my credit card. So when it comes to week one, it went from March 25th to March 31st. And so all of the expenses have been paid except, I'm going to say except for one, but so let me put a check because that has cleared the credit card. So I put an X there where it has credit card number 3. And the reason is credit card number 3 is not due until May budget. So it's due in April, but it falls into May budget. So I thought it was due March 28th, but it's not due until April 28th. So I had to redirect those funds somewhere else, and we'll see that in the budget. I could have gone and done it, but I decided not to. I'm going to wait. So everything with the check has been cleared. If it has an X, it did not apply. So then we're going to move over here. This was income breakdown number 1. This is where I told my money what to do when it came in. And this is where what I go by to determine what I should have in my envelope system, as well as what I should have in my sinking funds, and to keep account on what has cleared for the expenses. So we're going to set that to the side. Now we have made it to the spending record. If you're new, the spending record is for my envelope system. I have 4 categories that I feel actually bust my budget. That is food, gas, household, and personal. So because of that, I want to monitor them a lot closely than I do anything else, because I have a little bit more control of those items, okay? So when it came to week 1, you can see that I deposited in the food. There was $16 rollover, and we discussed where that came from, as well as a deposit. And then we did the deposit in personal, and then that $29 that I was speaking about, I just deposited in personal. And so that's what the deposits were. So I had a few transactions from these categories, and we had, of course, we went to Harris Teeter for food. I went back to Harris Teeter because I forgot to get my water. And then I spent for personal, I went to Bed Bath & Beyond and some things I needed to re-up on. And so that's what I did. So we're just going to move this a little bit to the side here. I'm going to put this over here because we need to give ourselves some room. And so when we talk about expenses for week 1, we already discussed that we have credit card number 2. We have stars, internet. Credit card number 3 did not come out, but it's going to be included because I redirected that to another category. And then student loans have cleared thus far. So let's calculate that up. 98 plus 10 plus 35 plus 29 plus 74, as well as the miscellaneous of 100. And then giving has cleared as well. Partial giving has been cleared as well. So that's $506. So we're going to pull out the big pen here. We're going to change that to red, and we're going to put 506 here. So for food, we only have the Harris, both of the Harris Teeters. So that's 46 and 11. So at least that's $57. And then for gas, we haven't spent anything in gas in this budget, so that's going to be 0. And then household, there was nothing to add, so I'm just going to do that. And then for the personal, we're going to put, we actually, as we can see, we deposit 59. Oh, excuse me. So we started with 59, and then we're going to minus 29. It leaves a positive 30. Did I do that right? 30 plus 29 minus 30. Okay, no, I didn't. So that's a positive 29. So we just put that positive here. Did I do? No. And I still did it wrong. So this needs to be, I don't know how I did it last time. Why am I causing, I know I did it last time where it showed where I actually spent. Oh, dang it. And I don't have it down here. I don't have it up here. Okay, just a second. Okay, I'm back. I had a small lesson. And so what happens is I only spent $1. That's how I do that here. So I only put $1 here. So when we do 1361 minus 506, that leaves us with $855. And that should be right. And then we have food, and that is $93. Then for gas is $76, and then for personal is $29. And so, and we can just verify $93, $76, $29. And then for the expenses, we have the rent that's left, gym membership, and the remaining of the giving. All right, and so I had to remember how I did it last time, and it simply was I deposited 29, but I spent 30, so at least $1. Like I spent actually $1. So that's why. Okay, so because we don't deposit anything in week 2, we can move these amounts to these categories to start off the next week. Let's do that. And then personal, we have 29. All right, so we're good to go with that weekly check-in. And then we're going to go straight to the expense tracker. And this expense tracker, we are going to slide out. This is I use the highlighted method. This is the method that I used. If it's like a yellowish neon color, it's unbudgeted. If it's blue, it's sinking funds. Purple is envelope systems. The bills, which are budgeted, which is pink. Payments are green. If I have any fees, they're orange. When I've made the payment, I usually put a dot. If I made a partial payment, I just put a slash. Okay, so let's talk about week 1, starting with March 25th. And we have sinking fund. I went and get my hair cut. So we have that. And then I went ahead and booked for another hair appointment as well as with my esthetician. So that's what that comes from. So they use Style Seed, and Style Seed charges a fee now. And yeah. So then we have out of the expense account, which is our bills, and that is going to be pink. And then of course we had stars come out or clear my credit card, and then we have the internet. So not all of my bills are on my credit card. Some come out of my account, so that's why you don't see them here. Then we had an unbudgeted transaction. I went to Target and was minding my business. I went in there for one thing and I got distracted. And so I came out with $75.96 worth of items that I really needed, but it wasn't really in the budget. So then lastly, we have the envelope system. And then we're going to just slide that there. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm actually going to move that up, move this over, and then we're going to move this over here so we can see for week 1. So for week 1 unbudgeted, we have a total of $75.96. For sinking funds, we have the $54 plus the $1 and $1.35, and that's $56.35. Then for the envelope system, we just have the $30.50. For bills, we have the $9.62 and then the $34.86. So that's $44.48, and we didn't have any fees during this week. So when it's, we can slide this over because I need to come back here. I'm actually going to move this a little bit over here. So when we make payments, today's date is the 31st. These payments, when you see them, I'm going to show the first because it's after 5 p.m. and so they won't post until on the account, the credit card account, until tomorrow. They won't withdraw out of my actual accounts until probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. But we still nonetheless make the payments to stay on track. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and hit the bills because we already know. So that's $44.48. And when we make the payment, we call that the expense account. And then we just put payment here. And of course, it doesn't get any points for that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the sinking funds. And the sinking funds is $56.35. That's actually going to come out of my side income account because of the category that those come from, those transactions. And so I'm going to put that there so I know. And then the last payment we're going to make is going to be from the envelope system, and that's going to be $30.50. And that comes from my Discover. And that is a payment. So let's go ahead and we're going to slide that back and slide this over, and then we're going to actually see what's the balance after. Now this balance does include our April transactions, which when we make our April payment would disappear. So I'm fine about where the number is at. And then we have, I feel like I did that wrong. So let's do 3612 minus 3050. That still made me feel like I did that wrong. 30612 minus 3050. Okay, so that's right. So 275.62, which should be right because if we minus the 75.96, it should give us the 199.66, which is the bill. So let's go ahead and highlight the screen. Might as well do it while we're in it. Get that out the way. And then the last thing that we're going to look at is here, which it talks about our sinking funds and our unbudgeted. So I didn't spend anything on the unbudgeted. I have had transactions out of 2 sinking funds, as well directly as well as on the credit card. So we know from the credit card we have the $56.35 from the me, myself, and I category, as well as $10. So that's $66.35. I'm just going to say $66. I'm going to leave the change. There's no biggie because I round up or down. So this exact amount, the dollar amount is always right. The change varies. Then for Savannah, I just washed her, get some of that pollen off of her, and it has piled back up. And I have sent money to my mom for the property, and I'm not sure where we at with that. So right now we're just going to focus. I'm covered for April if need be, and we'll see what happened in May. So this is 325, 331. We got 4, 2, 4, 7, 4, 8, 2, 4, 14, and 4, 15, 2, 4, 21. Okay, so we're good with that as well. So now to the fun part. So let's go ahead and get all of this put away or to the side so we can get ready for my challenge. Okay, so before we set up for the challenge, we're going to talk about a couple things. So last year I purchased from Brittany with Plan Your One Life, and she sent this mask as well as the items that I purchased. And so I thought it'd be fitting to finally show this because I don't really show a lot of cash things on my channel because I don't really carry cash. But I did purchase these lovely cash envelopes from her. So there was activities, airport, souvenir, transportation, and tips. So if you haven't guessed it, I use these when I travel. And so I tweaked them a little because I don't carry large purses, so I don't carry wallets. And so either the purses I carry, I can slide these in like this or this way. So I end up just cutting them to size to allow for me to open them when I'm traveling. Easy access. But I love them and I love the print. I also purchased these envelopes as well. These were from Simone. And if I can remember, I'll link her channel. But these were for my actual wallet because I thought I was going to continue to use it as often. But these were the categories: groceries, household, gas, personal, fun money, and restaurants. So I don't use them as much, but with this purchase came this. So I'm going to use this temporarily as a way to put the money in that I'm going to be using for my challenge. So let's pull that out. So this is the challenge. I introduced it in my budget video. It is from Wakana. When Wakana be planning y'all on Etsy. And so we're going to set it up, and I picked up some money, y'all. Smell like sanitizer and all, but it'll be fine. So it's not the prettiest, but I'm okay with that as long as it's clean. So we're gonna just try to stack this as well as we can without making a mess. Don't want to make this too long. Let's just slide this up here and we should be good. All right, so my marker, of course. So this is an old keychain. I don't know what is with me in keychains. This is really thick, if you can see, thick and heavy. But I always end up breaking them. So It's bigger than this, but it'd be fine. We can sit it right there. And then I found these. This is a game that Papa made with his group when he was in 4-H. And it had a whole bunch of it had enough die in here for me to use. So I'll be pulling out 2 dice or 2 die. I don't know which one it should go, but we'll go with that. And so we'll shake. Shake, 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 shake. Shake that bubble. Ooh, 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I'm not in jail. I'm just visiting. And so since that's nothing, we got to roll again. Okay, let's go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is purple, so we got to go back 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So we are going to do $30, and we're just going to do the 20 and the 30, 20 and the 30, 20 and the 10. I'm going to put it in the envelope, and this is week 1. Okay. Simple, easy peasy, little excitement, but not too much. But this is how basically I want to play the game down the line. All right, y'all. In the meantime, in between time, peace.